Why aren't you a millionaire yet? Well, maybe you don't want to be. But I'll bet if you're watching this right now, you want to be a millionaire. And in this next video, I'm going to show you why you're not a millionaire yet. Yes, there are 3 reasons why you're not a millionaire yet, and there are 5 ways for you to millionize your life. Watch. You know, you've heard it a million times, so you got to do it. You got to get some passive income flowing into your life. And if you don't, you'll never be a millionaire. Passive income should be the goal of anyone who works in an office every day, or frankly, anybody who wants to be a millionaire. It promises an early retirement and a life without the burden of financial stress. As Robert Kiyosaki says, you can only be financially free when your passive income exceeds your expenses. Isn't that profound? Does your passive income exceed your expenses? You know, until you reach that goal, what I call your financial freedom goal, then, hey, it's going to be a struggle because you'll always be out there looking for money. You got to have the money looking for you every single day. That's passive income. You probably have investor's block. What is investor's block? Many people know how powerful investing can be, but only 55% of Americans own stocks and only 6.7% own real estate rental properties. Investor's block happens for 3 main reasons. People either, number 1, have no savings to invest. Number 2, they don't know where to put their money. Or number 3, they're afraid that the market will turn sour. And yeah, they're afraid. That's what investor's block really is. They're afraid that they're going to lose money and they'll have to start all over again from scratch. Well, that might happen. But the bottom line is, if you're afraid to invest, you'll get stuck where you are for the rest of your life. And guess what? 65% of Americans own a home right now. And over the last couple of years, just because they owned, their properties have gone up in value, but only 6.7% of them own rental properties. They own 1, but they don't own 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10. Isn't that stupid? Frankly, if they are sitting in their home and seeing this asset exploding in value, why haven't they waken up to the fact that maybe they ought to have 2 of those, or maybe they ought to have 3 or 4 or 5 or 10? You see, this fear stops people, and fear costs you money. It costs you a fortune. So you have to overcome these blocks, or you'll be stuck, and you don't want to be stuck. Let's talk now about how you can millionize your life. Step number 1, set a goal. Duh. Have you set a goal to be financially free? You probably don't have a financial freedom number. Setting a goal is the first step. Most people don't invest as much as they should because they don't know how much they truly need to set aside to reach their goal. A numerical goal will motivate you and will anchor your expectations of what it takes to get there. So what is your financial freedom number? Just like Kiyosaki said, you need to have your passive income exceeding your expenses. That's when you're financially free. So your financial freedom goal is when you are earning enough money to pay for your modest living expenses. Did you hear the word modest there? I don't want you to be spending all this extra money that you're making until you reach your financial freedom goal. So keep your living expenses modest. Drive a modest car. Live in a modest home. You know, you don't need to spend it all yet. In fact, if you spend it all quickly, you go into bankruptcy. You don't want that to happen. So set your financial freedom number. What is it, 5,000 a month? 10,000 a month? Don't set $1 million a month. Don't be ridiculous. Set a very modest, basic goal and then reach it. And that will take you to $1 million. That will millionize you. Step number 2, save. Duh. Of course you need to save. And you know, most people don't. And therefore that's why most people aren't millionaires. And you've got to learn how to do this. It doesn't always take money to make money, but cash definitely helps. motivated by your goal, make sacrifices to aggressively set aside money in order to achieve your target in the fastest amount of time possible. You know, I'm in Chicago. I'm in a Marriott hotel. I can see my mind. And this couple comes up to me at one of my seminars, and they are crushing it. And they tell me their plan of how they save. She says to me, we both work. He works, I work. We both make fairly okay salaries. But we've decided to spend only his salary to live on, and we save my salary. And therefore, half of their money goes into a bank account so they can use that money as liquidity to go buy other properties. So that's a savings plan, if you will. It should be at least 10% of your income, 20% if you can, 30% if it's possible, 50% like the story I just told you. But a lot of people ask me this question, Bob, I've got so much credit card debt. And the interest rates is 18, 20, 24%. Isn't it smarter to pay off my credit cards before I start saving? And you're going to be shocked by my answer to this. No. You save first. You make that your habit. Don't set goals, set habits. And the habit is, if I put a little bit of money aside every single day, eventually that grows into enough to pay off all my credit cards. Because you had a bad habit to get into credit card debt, form a good habit now to save. And that will take you to where you want to go. That will millionize you. Multiple streams of income. That's the third step. You need multiple streams of income. And I wrote the book about it. Once you have a goal, look at the investment vehicles available. Research their performance over time. Expect ROI and choose one to master first. Start with one, like maybe it's real estate, maybe it's owning a business, maybe it's investing in the stock market, maybe it's having an internet website that generates streams of income while you sleep. Bottom line is you need multiple streams of income. Why? Because if you have multiple streams of income and you lose one, you still have others to fill in the gap. But most people in America only have one stream of income, maybe two. And if you lose one stream of income in your family, you're dead. You're bankrupt. It's over. And then it takes you years to dig out of the debt that you've created because you lost that one stream. But if you create multiple streams of income, hey, you're safe. You need multiple streams of a portfolio of streams of income, not just one, not just two. So bottom line is you need multiple streams of income. Number 4, be patient. Duh. You have to eventually, over longer periods of time, create the wealth you're looking for. Most people don't think about a 5-year goal. They kind of think they want to be a millionaire tomorrow, and you can't. It takes time. It takes effort. Once you know what to invest in, wait to deploy your capital. If you invest in real estate, for example, you might have to look at 100 properties to find one good deal. Have the patience to wait for your golden opportunity. And when it arrives, act quickly. Grab it. As they say, don't wait to buy real estate and wait. And what people are doing right now is they're being patient in the wrong way. They're waiting until the market changes, until things get better, until the storm is over. No, this is when we make our money, during the storm. You can't be patient now. You have to go out there and look and find it to get started, and then also have a long-term view. So being patient and taking action seems like a paradox, but it isn't. Can you ride out the hard times? Because if you can't, you won't be able to hang on to your money. And millionaire will never be a title that people attach to your name. You have to learn how to ride out the hard times. And guess who my mentor for that is? Well, it's Warren Buffett. And he says he has a favorite holding period for all of his investments. And do you know what it is? Forever. He buys a property and he never sells it. And if you look over the cycles of real estate over the last 40 years, you're going to find lots of hard times. And people are bailing out at the wrong time, not realizing that the market is about ready to shift. So you got to figure out a way to hang on to a lot of these investments for the long term, unless your intuition tells you it's time to sell. So the bottom line is, yeah, ride it out. The best investors don't worry about the current market. Instead, they look to history to remind them that in the long run, stocks, real estate, and other secure investments always bounce back. They always do. But most people can't hang on. You know why they can't hang on? For the reasons I just told you. They're spending too much. Their mortgages are too high. They're not saving. All those reasons why they can't hang on. Smart investors have saved enough during this time when things are in crisis mode. That's when they take their liquid cash and go invest it. But most poor people, when they're in crisis mode, they spend all their savings and there's nothing left to invest. Don't let that happen to you. This is the book that will show you exactly how to live the principles I just taught you. It shows how I went to an unemployment line and selected people who had none of the resources that were necessary. No cash, credit, cash flow, collateral, had none of it that the banker want. And I showed them how, with just who they were, with all the challenges in their life, how they could turn that into at least $5,000 in the next 90 days and $100,000 in the first year. So you can do this. Click on the link down below. Get this book. Order it quickly. Read it. And it'll show you how you can millionize your life. Have you subscribed yet? If you haven't, you don't get all the great ideas I've been sharing with you. And did you learn something in this last video? I hope so. So subscribe so you can get more, and then watch the next video because that's got even better techniques and strategies for you.